Right, so now we're going to talk about pruning Hydrangea Paniculatas. Paniculatas get these really nice big conical flowers in the summer. Now these get pruned slightly different to your macrophyllars, which you can see here. What we do with these is we actually prune them back to a framework. So if you have a look here, you'll see this was our last pruning cut last year. And from that, this has put on about a foot of growth. All we're going to be looking to do, it's really simple, is just cut each one of these stems back to within a couple of buds of where it's come from. And with most of the things that we prune, what we're looking for is any dead material or any diseased material that's not going to produce any flower for this year. So in here, we've got some of these little knobbles. They haven't grown this year, so we're going to take those off back at the base. We're also going to be looking at where there's crossing stems. So here's a crossing stem. We'll remove that and again, open up this structure. Any weak stems here, as we did with the macrophyllars, this one's not a viable stem. It's not going to produce anything this year. So we just take that off right at the base. Some more dead material to remove. And if you notice, while I'm pruning, I'm actually keeping the cutting blade of my secateurs facing the plant. So what we do is we always want that cutting blade to be touching the part of the plant that you're going to leave on. The reason for that is this part of the secateur will crush and this part will cut. So if you're always cutting with the cutting blade facing the plant, that crushed material is always removed, like so. Another advantage actually to pruning these back to two buds is that actually you help to control the size of the plant. So if you imagine that this plant was going to put on about a foot of growth this year, we're actually only increasing the size of this plant by 2 buds year on year. So this year we've pruned back to here. Next year we'll prune back to here. What this does help to do, as I said, it helps control the size of the plant. It helps to stop it getting too big. But again, it's something that can be flexible. So if you do want your plant growing slightly higher at the back of a border, you can always leave more on, and if you wanted to, you could even prune these up here and let these regrow and reshoot from this point here. Right, so you've heard me speak about opening up the structure of these plants. Sometimes you're gonna have to remove a branch. You might think, oh, that's a bit extreme, but for the overall health of the plant, it really does help to sort of remove this material. So here, we've got quite a big stem. Temptation would be to leave it on. But what I actually can do is take it off here at the base, and then you'll notice that it really opens up the structure of the plant. So now we've taken that out, you can see this is really nice and open. There's plenty of airflow in here. And all we're going to do now is we're just going to finish off pruning these last long shoots back. So that's all the pruning done on this Hydrangea Paniculata. We won't need to touch that again for the rest of the year. The only thing I'm going to do, or the last thing I'm going to do, is just make sure we clear any of these leaves from around the base. And we take those out of there, just to make sure we've got plenty of nice airflow around the base. And what we will then be doing is we'll next be mulching these and feeding them to give us a better display for the spring.